Welcome back, hockey fans, to episode 34 of Light in the Lamp. I'm your host, Dola, and with me, as always, is my co-host from the East Coast, JG. How you doing, pal? Looking like you're lounging.
Yep. A little vacation action going on. About day 5, 3 nights to go here. We're down in Naples Beach, Florida. We're headed to Sarasota tomorrow to see my godson. Your buddy Nelson, over there in Sarasota. So just been a nice, relaxing trip. Got the newborn on his first trip here, hanging out with the wife, first family vacation, and just soaking it all in, man. Hanging out. I got NHL Network on here, watching Tampa Bay local, within an hour and a half of me. So got them on the TV over here. I know you're watching the Hawks game and just getting some NHL in and just soaking up this 70-degree weather, sitting outdoors right now. So just trying to enjoy a little bit of your lifestyle for a few days.
Oh, yeah, no doubt, man. I mean, you got to love the warmer climate, the warmer weather, just being outside all the time. When absolute
right now,
beauty.
I'm on the screen porch, so I'm indoor, outdoor. It's about 72 degrees, little breeze. Can't beat it. California weather is what Florida is getting at this time of year, so I'm living a little bit of the Newport Beach life right now.
Yeah,
I was after my buddy.
I was actually just in Illinois, back visiting some folks at a wedding. Absolute banger, 120 people. Little bit less social distancing than you would expect, but it was quite a rip. I'll let you know that.
That one was about 2 weeks ago myself, and there was almost 200 people. Zero social distancing. It felt good to feel. Let's be honest. As whatever you feel about this pandemic and about this virus, it feels good to get back to normal once in a while. You know what I mean? You have a couple drinks in you. You forget about the pandemic and what's going on. You're with your old friends. You don't really give a shit, let's be completely honest. You don't really give a fuck. You're just getting in one, and honestly, the normalcy is coming back a little bit lately, so it feels good. We hope the fans are getting a little bit of that normalcy too. Might be a little too much for comfort. We get it. If you're not doing it, nothing against you, but it does feel good to be back with the boys, getting some drinks in, and feeling a little normal again.
I wasn't too comfortable there, but at the same time, you just have to give into it.
And it's enjoyable. Like, listen, at the end of the day, it feels normal. Like, after a couple of cocktails, you forget about it for a few. It's nice to feel normal again. Things haven't been normal for a long time, so.
I could see you're begging for that on vacation there, JG, but still we gotta.
Florida, and let me tell you something, they are wild down here. Governor DeSantis, you're a legend. I don't know what your deal is, but you don't give two shits about this virus, because I'm walking in places with my wife, my kid. My wife's throwing the mask on. I'm looking around, and I'm just like, damn, 78% of people just don't care to put a mask on, and the government here doesn't give a shit.
All right, well, we're not running a podcast on the virus, but JG,
it's a different vibe down here. It's a vacation vibe, but it's definitely different. It doesn't feel like home, because I know we're definitely masking up at home. So it's been a different feeling over here, but just nice to be in the warm weather. And again, I've been watching all the Ranger games down here. I got the network. I got Tampa Bay on, so been soaking up a lot of hockey on this vacation, and we got a lot to talk about. Let's be honest.
I mean, let's get right into it. Today is not going to be another day. Just got off work. Got to get back to it at some point, but just had to always get on Light in the Lamp when we can. Obviously you're on vacation, but I mean, just the Rangers giving us a little too much to talk about here, fans. So on episode 34, what we're really going to cover is just, one, the NHL draft lottery. Big changes coming out today. A little bit of the Ranger rule happened. Something like a Sean Avery little change to the league. People got a little frustrated and had to make a move here. Then we're going to talk about just like the entire Rangers coaching staff just being MIA on the COVID list. The Hartford Wolfpack coaching staff coming in and like absolute studs. Chris Knobloch behind the helm, getting us some pretty big wins here behind the bench with the boys. And then
4-1-1 in the last 6.
And then finally, we're going to cover Vitaly Kravtsov finally skating with the taxi squad and soon going to be just joining the boys here probably tomorrow for a couple of skates. And I mean, they're hoping Saturday, but I probably will, I'll leave some hot take for later, but I would probably say he doesn't see the ice until Quinn comes back, but we'll see what happens. But we got a lot to talk about and want to get into it. But JG, what are you drinking over there for the fans? We haven't talked about some of the beverages we've been pounding back here.
So, my wife decided it'd be a good idea. We had some buckets to throw our crabs in at the restaurant. I was drinking 2-for-1 margs. Was onto the fourth and fifth. Was running a little low on room in the belly. So she stole me a bucket instead of dumping the crabs in it. The old wifey stuffed my last 2 margaritas in this bucket. So stuck it down my last 2 margs. Got a Corona. Just typical vacation beverages. Nothing crazy like what you're drinking over there, but just keeping it light and casual, feeling really good, buzzing for the boys, and ready to get her going. What do you got? What are you drinking over there on the Gold Coast, pal?
I have a Harlan Brewing San Diego, United States hazy IPA. Got one of these bad boys right here. That'll be up next. That's up second. But I got a Carl Strauss Red Trolley Ale, and then finally, I mean, we'll see how the night goes and how hot we get on this Rangers talk. But
is that a local? Is that a local brew?
Yeah, so they have a big, like 33,000 square foot outdoor bar in Anaheim, big compound type place with a pool, dude. Like, so when this pandemic opens, you can go drink your face off, have some food, hit the pool. It's like almost like a Vegas club in a sense.
I like that.
Yeah, so it's pretty nice.
Kind of like Top Golf in Vegas.
Yeah, it's cool. Different atmosphere, but I mean, love the amount of beers that they have. I mean, they just have an absolute massive slate and selection there. So it's one of those places where you just get a card, you scan it, you hold it up, you pour your own, and you're just ripping the entire time.
That's
so
really cool. We don't got a ton of that over here. We
yeah,
to go to a spot called Yard House this weekend, which is like
I've been there.
It's more of a chain, but they got them all over Florida. They had, I mean, if you guys are beer fans and we're big hockey fans and most hockey fans, big beer drinkers, the amount of taps that this fucking place has, the food is very good. It's good. It's quality bar food, but the amount of taps, I mean, just impressive. I was having a ball over there.
I used to drink over there a lot, dude, and I used to pound back those entire half yards.
We got to go there together back in the day. We snuck in with our fakes back when we were about 16, 17 years old. But I got to go back there this weekend, and the amount of taps was really cool. But let's rip into this hockey here. We've been talking enough about drinking and everything else. Let's get into the New York Rangers and Chris Knobloch. Is that where we're going to start at?
No, we're going to talk about the NHL draft. So fans, obviously the Rangers have been absolutely lucky. You go back through everything we've created. You see the reaction video by JG. I was actually at the gym at the time. Dummy messed up the time on when the actual draft started. Joey G nails it, actually sees it live, goes insane when we get the number 1. But obviously, with everything good in life comes at a price, because as JG and I were so elated at this, everyone else in the world was like, fuck the Rangers. Like, fuck the Rangers. They won 2 times in 2 years, and this is enough. Edmonton wins 5 years in a row. No one gives a shit. Rangers win 2 times in a row. Literally, rules change within 6 months. I mean, go figure. No one likes the blue. Let's just be honest. I mean, it is what it is.
But at the end of the day, it didn't hurt us because we won. So they're changing the rules where you can't win a certain way. We didn't win in any of the ways that they changed the rules.
No, yeah, they did. So they did it this year. So I'll read you the rules. So now the changes are only the first 2 picks are up for grabs in the lottery. So I mean, that's a change. Instead, I think it was the first
10.
Yeah, like I think there's not a ranking.
Or 1 through 9, whatever it came out to be.
And then no team can move up more than 10 spots, which is technically the Ranger rule. Yeah, the Ranger rule, which no team can move up 10 spots.
That's honestly, that's a disappointment. That's a disappointment because let's be honest.
It's a lottery.
I know
Come on.
The Ranger fans and the Rangers won, but it's super luck of the draw. Like, end of the day, everybody says, oh, the ball must have been heavier because he moved it, or all because the Rangers won. It's the New York Rangers that won. And now look, everybody's talking shit. Oh, Lafreniere stinks. He's not that good. First of all, if you watch the Rangers night in and night out, like me and Tim do, the kid is an absolute fucking animal. When he gains 15, 20 pounds, he's going to be unstoppable. His only issue is that he gets pushed off the puck. That's his biggest issue, is that he's not strong on the puck.
We'll get to
into that,
Laffy.
but
We'll get into
at the end of
Laffy
the
a
day,
little bit.
this lottery rule is a crock of shit. I'm disappointed in the NHL.
Yeah, it's.
You can say whatever you want. Ranger rule, you want the Avery rule. They come after the Rangers.
I only call it the Avery rule because it's just like an annoyance that
someone
on the Rangers did something. It's like we got to change a rule. You know what I mean?
If Avery was on the Tampa Bay Lightning, would they have made the Avery rule?
Oh, dude, and he did it to Martin Brodeur. Are you fucking kidding? Let's be honest, right?
Avery rule if he did it against Martin Brodeur and he was on Tampa Bay?
No. Yeah, I don't know.
No, I don't know. No. That's the honesty. So let's be honest. Like you said, they're coming after New York.
And then this is it. No team can win the lottery more than twice in a 5-year period. So right now, the Rangers don't even qualify to even be in it because
last year it's the new rule this year.
I have no idea. Well, I mean, we'll have to find out. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, we won the last 2 years.
Doesn't matter. If you made the rule in 2021, the first year of the 5 years would have to be 2021. No.
I would hope that it would start the next year, but if they cause that into effect,
the Ranger rule, it could be anything. They could basically say, "Fuck it." The Rangers are excluded because they've won the last 2 lotteries.
I don't know if they're calling it the Ranger rule, but like let's be very clear.
Bettman's not going to call it the Ranger rule, Tim.
It was written because the Rangers, like these rules were changed because of the Rangers. Like, I mean, it was the Ranger rule.
We're a Rangers heavy podcast, so even if we're being biased right now, this is what we believe. Like, I believe that this is the Ranger rule. Like, how is it not? How is it not? If they don't allow the Rangers to participate in the next 5 years of lottery, when the rule started in 2021 and they won the 2019 and 2020 lottery, it's the Ranger rule. Because let's be honest, in any other sports league, including the NHL, in any other time, if you made a rule in 2021, it would start in 2021. So let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens on that. But yeah, that's something we're going to have to track and find out, just because, like, again, we better either start placing where it don't fucking matter, or that could be very almost detrimental that we don't even have a shot at the top 2 spots. We're just going to fall in the fray, you know?
Would you call that detrimental with everything that we have available right now in our
Probably
system?
Not, dude. We have absolutely an embarrassment of riches in terms of prospects.
Riches enough, which we'll get into this at some point in the episode, that there's no reason we shouldn't be. I'm not saying go after Eichel, but there's no reason that we shouldn't be making some type of significant trade offers on this market with the amount of pieces that we have.
Oh, 1,000%. But
I mean, you can
definitely
be an Eichel trade without hurting your farm system if they're willing to take certain things. I mean, let's be honest. We have so much in our system that you can make a deal for Eichel and not even hurt your system.
No, without a doubt, and I think we definitely need to do that. What is the trade deadline? April 12th. So we have just under a month here. So I mean, it's coming up, and I mean, let's get into that. I mean, it doesn't really seem like the Rangers are making any moves. While, I mean, fans, if you haven't been watching, haven't been paying attention, the entire New York Rangers coaching staff has been MIA on the COVID protocol list, not coaching games. We've had Chris Knobloch filling in from the Hartford Wolfpack and co. And I got to say, they've been doing pretty well. The boys have been winning. I mean, the 9-0 victory. Hey, JG, let's talk about that. Let's talk about a 9-0 victory against the Philadelphia Flyers. We actually haven't talked about it.
When I called you and said, "Hey, Tim, are you watching this?" And you
the most frustrating game
man,
ever.
Hey, man, I turned the game on. It was 1-0. Then I had Wes and Eileen come over, and, you know, I was letting them in the house, and the dogs were here, and then it was 4-0. And then I walked in the house and I put the groceries down, and then it was 6-0. And the next thing I know, I go in the bedroom and it's 8-0. And now I didn't even see the 9th goal. It's 9-0. I didn't get to see any goals. I saw 1 goal. The team wins 9-0. I don't understand it. I heard all the bitching and moaning from Tim, but let's be honest, fans. JG was locked in. The baby was sleeping like a baby. My wife not torturing me. Got to watch all of the 9 goals, and I got to just let Tim know, I've been watching this. Are you fucking watching this? And I know he was disappointed, but it felt good. It felt really fucking good to watch a Rangers team absolutely just dominate.
Take a shit.
Tear Philadelphia. It doesn't feel – that's like winning the Stanley Cup. It's not as good, obviously, but let's be honest. I mean, as a Ranger fan, there's not many better moments than that. Like we
Okay, how many times has Philly
Flyers
ever beat us by 9?
nothing.
Have they ever beat us by 9?
I don't think so, but that's not even what it is to me. How many times has Philly beat up on us over the time of us being shitty? Quite a few. We've been garbage, and they beat up, like, not huge margins of
a
score.
6 goals to 3 and stuff.
Score, but like,
yeah.
But like the physicality.
5-1.
The goal score. It's not even the goals. It's the physicality, the beatings in the fights, the running the goalies, the shit that we never took care of. That the other night we raped them, and then we went out there and we did like Lemieux was taking liberties. Guys were going out there and saying, "Fuck it, we're up 9-0, do something about it." And the Rangers haven't done that, and it felt good. It looked like a new New York Rangers squad to me. It made me feel very different about this team going forward for this year, to be honest. Whether they lost a game after that or whatever happens, it was just the type of beating that a New York Rangers team hasn't given somebody in a very long time. A beating that was like, come after us. We're just as good as you and everybody else. We're not scared of you. It felt good.
It's one of those beatings that you see the Knights and the Avs give people. Like something Tampa Bay gives something, just absolutely runs over a team. And honestly, even go back,
they didn't have.
But go back to 2010 when we made runs at the Cup and stuff, dude. We didn't do this. We didn't beat up on teams in near a fashion we did the other night. That was
the potential to that.
Yeah.
This is what struck me the most the other night is the fact that this team with all these young guys and this new lineup and this 2.5-year head coach who never coached in the NHL. They gave a team a beating that NHL teams don't give to no NHL team. The worst team in the league doesn't give that beating to the best. The best team in the league doesn't give that beating to the worst team in the league. I'm sorry. It doesn't.
No. The line is -1.5. Like, let's be honest.
Solid locked in 1.5. When is the last time? I mean, in the last couple of years, you've seen some 8-goal games, 8-2, 9-3. Yeah, fine. When has somebody given a beating 9-0? Like, it was an embarrassment.
Claude Giroux said it was an embarrassment to be on the ice tonight. Like, he fucking comes right out and says that. Love that. Does that just not get you just excited as a Ranger fan? Just fills your heart?
As a Ranger fan is like you said. We've never had this. Even when we made the cup runs, we've never had
this.
Took it to a whole nother level the other night. Like, fuck Philadelphia. Fuck the NHL. We don't care. If we're this hot, let's keep scoring. Like David Quinn, and he signaled down to whoever, and he said, listen, fuck it. We're not shutting it down. We're going to let these kids get confidence. Let them rig. If they're going to win by 12, let them win by fucking 12. And guys, there's a lot of good coaches in the league.
Mika Zibanejad had 6 points.
Guys, there's a lot of good coaches in the league that would have said, hey, guys, listen, we're up 6-0. We're up 7-0. Pump the brakes. Dump the puck.
Trap.
This team playing like shit. Trap it. These guys sat back and said, we need to get better, and we need to show the league that we will piss on you. And they did that the other night. And I haven't seen that from the New York Rangers in a very, very long time, and it felt good.
Well, it wasn't even that.
The last
Think
time
about
the Rangers were like that was in the Yager era. Let's be honest.
Think about also, like, we parlay that into the game against the Caps, which tough loss that next game. Play great. I mean, Ovechkin buries you, right? And then you go back at him. Absolutely take the Caps, beat them. And then honestly, like, it kind of looked we got a little bit back in that old form with Buffalo. Buffalo 13 straight losses. Can't even buy a win. But
they found a way to not play great and win. And that, to me, is better than a 9-0 win. You found a way to play like shit and figure out a way to finish a game that you had to finish against a team that's 0-13 in their last 13. You had to win that hockey game. Or
the season was over.
You came out and you found a way to win that hockey game when you were playing like garbage. And to me, that's better than the 9-0 win. That, as a hockey guy, to me, that's better than the 9-0. When you came out in a game where you didn't deserve to win, you played mediocre. Buffalo played mediocre, but they've been playing mediocre. They've been playing mediocre hockey for 25 games.
For 25 games here,
But you found a way in a mediocre scenario to beat a mediocre team, and you found a way to win when you played like shit, just like they did. And to me, that is what's going to make this team better. This team needs to be able to find ways to win when they're not firing. There's so much firepower. If the whole team's not firing, we should still be able to squeeze a game out. Zibanejad and Aaron should be able to win a 2-1 game. If the goalie plays great, those guys can score goals. We should be able to win games like we won in Buffalo the other night. And that made me feel good about the New York Rangers finally the other night.
I mean, amazing that Chris Kreider still from right outside the cage pops another 2. Guy doesn't even have to move from 6 inches outside the rink.
Let's talk about I've been reading a lot of like Twitter comments and just random comments. These Ranger fans, listen, I get negative sometimes, but let's be honest. I mean, you guys are bashing a 19 and a 20-year-old on a daily basis. These kids are children. I've read so many comments over the last 2 weeks. Oh, Lafreniere's a bust. Kakko can't score a goal. Give me a break. These kids are kids. Kakko could have had 30 goals already this year. He's got chances out the ass. If you're legitimately watching these hockey games, Kakko dominates in half of these games. Kakko is going to be a 35 to 40 goal scorer in this league. And it may take him 4 to 5 years to do that, but he's a stud. And these people don't know enough about the sport to be yapping on Twitter.
Well,
I hate to be a dick about it, but it's like
here's why. But here's why. And I mean, we say it all the time. People have to tune into the show if they want to actually hear it. But like they expect, I don't know if it's from other sports, but now I think they're starting to see it where it's like, oh, on the Hawks,
they have to be it or they're done.
No, well, I mean, even on the Hawks, it's like, oh my God, like Dominic Kubalik, Pius Suter, Boquist, Kurashev, all these, like I'm watching the Hawks game. So all these like super young players, and they're in their first and second year in the NHL and they're killing it. But here's the big thing. Kubalik's 24. Like Kurashev is 21. Like Suter's 20. I'm pretty sure 24. Like these guys are not 19 years old. They're 20
players and guys coming out of the KHL. They're grown ass men.
They're men.
They're men. 19 years old. He's a child. When I was 19, I was playing on the Boston Bulldogs, and my dad was giving me $100 a week to live up in fucking Boston and play hockey. I was a child. I was drinking beer with my $100. I didn't even know what to do with it. I was a child at 19. But these people do not realize these kids are children.
But
20 years old. He's a
hockey fan. If you're not a real hockey fan, if you don't know the normal like road to the show,
not a guy who's played and understands. Like I played junior. You decided to get you and your family decided to be better for you with the brains you had to go. Why waste your talent unless you were definitely going D1? Go to school, get your degree, and go start making money because you're smart enough to do that. My family said, this kid's going to work in the union, so let's give him every opportunity to play until he's 20 because end of the day, he's going to do construction anyway. He's not going to fucking college. It's not his route. We're different people. We figured that out at a young age. We knew that from when we were kids. You were smart. Books weren't my thing. We understood that. My parents sent me a different route. You went a different route. At 18, 19, I was playing with kids my age. We were kids. We were children. We were not mature. Yeah. We weren't ready to take on. This kid's making $1 million a year. He's wearing Gucci sneakers and fucking, and he's got 10,000 in his pocket on his way out to dinner with Henrik fucking Lundqvist. Like that's not normal when you're 18, 19 years old. You're not. How do you handle that? Like you have to learn how to be a player and an adult and a professional. And it doesn't take an 18-year-old one season to do that, unfortunately. So as fans, you guys got to kind of step back and say, hey, listen, these are
these guys, it's not like the NFL where these guys get like a big contract, they buy their houses. These guys live in the basement most of the time with another veteran on a team.
They live with a player in it.
Matt Barzal lives in the basement of like another New York Islander. And this is Matt. And this is Matt Barzal, like one of the best players on the Islanders. But the boys love to hang out. Yeah, they love to hang out. They love to be around each other. And again, it's just like they got a lot of grooming to go through.
You've heard the story 100 times. Sidney Crosby grew up his first 4 or 5 years living in Mario Lemieux's house. He got to play 2 or 3 seasons with him. Mario retired. He kept Sidney there until he was like 23. Sidney had his first puppy living in Mario Lemieux's house. These kids at the Rangers don't have Mario Lemieux grooming them in their home. These kids are children living with another young veteran. The league is different now. Crosby had a Mario Lemieux that was 43 years old, still playing. You know what I mean? There's no there. Lundqvist was the last of it. He left before these guys came. Like he was there for 1 year of Kako. Like these people don't realize, these kids have to. They need to be groomed. Like
3 years, 4 years.
Hackers and Lafreniere might not be 100-point scorers for 3 years from now, but when they are, you'll all be wearing their jerseys. You'll all be screaming their names. And right now, you're all saying, get rid of them, trade them while you can still get shit for them. Like, you're crazy. That's the future of your organization. That's all I'm trying to say.
So, I mean, it's still exciting. I mean, again, I'm sure people will give him a fresh load of shit when he's not a point-a-game guy. But Vitaly Kravtsov, skating with the taxi squad, getting on with the boys, really going to mess up some lines here. I mean, Blackwell's, I really still enjoy that he's like pretty versatile in terms of being able to move in between lines and still find chemistry. Because it's not like that's that easy, but he still finds a role on any line he plays with. And I just like that as a piece. Like, I don't know what you think about the guy. He might not be great in a little bit of, situation, but he has speed. He attacks. I like him. But then you got Gauthier, man. And Gauthier, I mean, he's a big body, strong, fast forward, like his stick handling skills. I mean, he's got a shot,
Did you see the goal he scored on his backhand the other night?
Really nice,
his
man.
Backhand over there on the breakaway and top corner after he made a mistake on a breakaway earlier in the game. I mean, he shows potential, and that's why he was a first rounder, but he never shows consistency. And that's going to be the reason with what we have. He's going to be in and out of the lineup if he stays a New York Ranger. Listen, we need that size. So, I mean, if he starts bringing consistency, that size is something that we lack, and we could use a big power forward, and he shows flashes of it, but he just doesn't bring it night in and night out. One night, he'll go hard to the cage, run the goalie, start scraps in front of the net, score a goal on the backhand on a breakaway, like a hard, strong drive to the net. And then the next night, he's a ghost. You don't even know who he is.
Yeah.
You don't hear his name. It's just it's a matter of, a lot of youth with the Rangers right now. You got a lot of guys that one night they're a superstar, the next night they're nowhere to be found. It's just it's a lot of inconsistency and just young play, to be honest, is what it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting to see it, and I don't really know what I would want for some of these players, right? Like, I mean, it's kind of hard to go out there in the league and say exactly what you want. I do have to say, in one opinion that's been changing in my eyes is of Ryan Strome. I would have thought, if you want to talk about like seeing things and reading things, I mean, that's another player that everyone's like trade Strome.
He's one of our best players.
Dude, he's also a leader. You see how he talks to the boys, works with them, hangs out with them. He is. I don't know, man. I don't think that anymore. I think I'm a Ryan Strome fan. I don't know if we're
gonna. I
gonna
don't want him to go anywhere. Listen, right now, we're not getting a better center. We're not getting a better second line centerman in the league. One, not on the trade mark unless we get Jack Eichel. There's not a better centerman available. Two. He fits in with this team. I mean, he plays on the bet. Listen, look at him the other night. It was Strome, Panarin, and Kako. Kako scores 2 goals. Strome and Panarin both have points. Every time Strome's on the ice, with or without Panarin, things are created. We talk shit. He had a little rough stretch right when Panarin went out. We on this podcast, you probably hear us talking shit, and within a game or two, he came to and he started putting up points every single game with or without Panarin. He's a leader. The guys appreciate him. They like him in the room. It seems to be that the Rangers are a big fan of him. And obviously we gave him the money we gave him for a reason, and the Rangers don't want to get rid of him, so why should we?
I'm really starting to like him. I mean, again, Buchnevich is still, to me, I mean, he keeps scoring. He keeps getting points as well, but I really don't know where I'm on him. And, even beyond that, then you think about even the goalie situation too.
If you want to talk about trading somebody, I would put Buchnevich with all the firepower we have. I hate because I like Buchnevich a lot. I think for a 3rd round pick, he was huge value. He's been a great piece for New York. He really has. He honestly, I think he's probably your piece that you lose in the expansion draft. I think that's probably the guy that goes. He's very Oscar Lindbergh-ish, but better. Like Oscar Lindbergh was an easy pick for Vegas, and he worked out for them for a little bit. Buchnevich is a lot more of a player than Oscar Lindbergh was. Like Oscar Lindbergh hustled for us. We liked him. He worked hard. He was a good player. I respect him. But Buchnevich has the skill and the hustle and the grit. And I feel like he fits in on an expansion team like that where he'll end up in the top 6 and score 20-25. Like, he isn't going to fit in here for much longer. We have too much talent coming up for a mediocre second to third line player. You know, he's been great. Again, he's been great. I love him. Really is. Some nights you're like, holy shit, look at this kid. And some nights you're just like, what the fuck? Like, where is Buchnevich?
I mean, but he's still just at that age where, you know, you would know. You would know by now if he's going to be like one of the most elite players in the league. And I just don't think that.
Listen, his ceiling is a
20. His reach is almost there. Yeah.
It's 20 to 25 goals, 20 assists. It's a very middling second
third
to line winger ceiling of 40 to 45 points, 50 points. If he has a great season, he'll have 50, 55. Like, that's a good player. He's more than you and me could ever wish to be in the NHL. It's no small feat. It's no disrespect. It's no disrespect. It's just for what the Rangers are building, it doesn't really fit anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting, but
I'd rather have a Blackwell not disappear and pay him $3 million for 3 or 4 years, like a Pittsburgh signed Sutter. Or who do they sign? Whoever they signed somebody over the last year or two for like 5 years at $3 million. Oh, Brandon Tanev, winger. They signed him at like 6 years, $3.5 million. And when he got the contract, every analyst was like, "What the fuck kind of contract is that?" He has been the best third liner in the league, and it's at a value. It's at a value price. I would rather get a guy like Blackwell at a value than pay a guy like Buchnevich 3 years, $15 million, and waste $5 million a year on untapped potential. So if I'm the Rangers, that is really the direction I'm going in for a trade is Buchnevich and 1 or 2 of the defensemen that are on staff right now.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be interesting. Have you seen that? Have you seen anything going on in Hartford already? Have you been watching anything going on with the Wolfpack at all?
I haven't really checked anything out much with the Wolfpack. You seen anything?
Our defensemen are absolutely lighting it up. So I don't know if Nils Lundqvist is actually there, but I think there was like Matt Robertson and Zach Jones were absolutely lighting it up.
Another trade piece that I've heard linked to the Rangers. Somebody that's very good in the AHL, but maybe not quite with the Rangers.
You don't think it will transfer?
No, what I'm hearing is he's not quite. He's like a very offensive defenseman, and we have quite a bit of that in the NHL. So what I'm hearing is he's like a very sought-after trade piece and something the Rangers might be using in a package to grab somebody bigger because, let's be honest, we have Adam Fox. Keandre Miller is on the verge of breaking out offensively. We have plenty of offense. Trouba is an offensive defenseman. Like, let's be honest, he's on our second power play. Hasn't been the greatest defenseman for the Rangers. He brings a ton of presence to that power play, and that shot is fucking lethal. That slap shot is it's one from the gods, man. I've seen a few one-timers the last few weeks that just scare me. Like, I would be sad to be at the
turning around on Trouba, huh? Turning around on Trouba.
I'm not, because his value isn't there. The price that we paid for him for the amount of years we paid for him, I disagree with. But again, a Mark Stahl situation. If Mark Stahl only costs $2 million.
Number 3, I guess we're here.
If Mark Stahl only costs $2 million a year, I would have said keep Mark Stahl.
Am I going to watch a penalty shot? Are we going to watch a penalty shot? Come on. Oh, wow. Just hooking call. Sorry. I'm watching. Are you watching the Hawks and the Panthers?
It's okay, but let's be honest. I'm not high on Trouba and what he's done. I'm not watching the Hawks. I'm watching Tampa Bay and Dallas, and Rupe Hintz is going off in a bad way. Doesn't look like he'll be coming back anytime soon. Sorry to see that because I do like Rupe Hintz.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was going off with a lower body injury, not looking like he moved the leg too well. But Dallas is wearing those jerseys with the lime green, and let me tell you, wasn't a
The
fan.
white? Are they the whites?
Nope, the blacks, dude.
Oh, I like the black. I like the black.
Didn't when they came out. I was like, eh. And now I'm watching them on the TV, and I'm like, I want one of those. Like, I want one of those for my collection of jerseys. Like, that's a crazy look. It's lime fucking green and the blackest jet black you've ever seen.
Oh, dude, no, I've seen it. I've seen it without a doubt. Like, I mean, the biggest thing for me,
filthy.
They're cool. I hate those white jerseys. Those all white with the white pads.
This black with the highlight.
No, have you seen the what? Have you seen the white ones?
No,
the
I
ones.
haven't, but these blacks are ridiculous, dude. Wow.
I've seen them.
I never thought I would say that I wanted to see an NHL team wear a highlighter color. This is crazy. They're wearing highlighter, like the legit, like the highlighter.
Dude, I've seen the jersey. I know what you're talking about. I've seen them play.
Like the highlighter company yellow, like the highlighter you put in your fucking your reading material. That yellow over the Dallas symbol, and it is ridiculous, dude. That is awesome. It looks like they're meant to be at like a light up roller skate night or like laser tag. Like that.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Impressed. And then you got Tampa Bay just wearing their regular old white navies. Winning 2-1, gonna win the game 6-3 because they're out shooting them 20-8.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I gotta say
they very well might win another Stanley Cup.
I don't know. There's playoffs are crazy, and there's a lot of good teams this year.
That's the only thing, but strongest candidate to win another Stanley Cup's got to be Tampa Bay. I mean, let's be honest. You watched a lot of back-to-backers over the last years. The Pittsburgh teams, the Detroit teams over the last 15, 20 years. I don't know if I've seen a hockey team better than this Tampa Bay Lightning team.
We'll see. I don't know.
They might be better than those Detroit teams with all the.
Dude, I feel like, unfortunately, I don't even want to hear it coming out of my mouth, but like if Anders Lee comes back for the Islanders, I feel like they still have a shot because they are just that annoying team that might not go away. So I don't know, man. I mean, you saw the run. They had like a 10-0 run in terms of never losing a game. Pretty ridiculous. And I mean, I don't want to hear it or say it or anything, but you might just want to.
I can't hear you.
I mean, Anders Lee going down, their captain, their leader, going to get surgery. I mean, he has ACL surgery, man. It's
not listening. I refuse to listen, fans. I will not listen. Timmy Amador can go fuck himself. I will not listen to this conversation. This will not happen. We will not put that juju in the air. The Islanders will not We will not talk about this.
We will not live when the Islanders.
It's not happening. I will not, dude. We already got to not be born for the menagerie of the 80s. Do not put that juju on us.
Wow, what a goal by Florida just now.
We do not deserve any more torture. We don't.
What a goal by Florida. Bro, absolute beauty.
I watched them lose to Tampa Bay the other night, a day or two ago. What was today? Tuesday? Sunday, I watched them lose.
Wow, Wenberg, what a skilled beauty play.
That Columbus let go of way too early.
Hornquist just in the middle, just causing havoc in front of Lankinen. Just an absolute beauty. Huberdeau on the shot. Dude, the Panthers, Joel Quenneville just runs a beauty of a bench. He figures it out. He runs an excellent squad, I got to say.
To be honest, they have two of the most underrated players in hockey. We haven't talked about
Alexander Barkov and
Jonathan Huberdeau.
Yeah. And they got rid of Jonathan Marchessault, and they were able to do that. Like, unbelievable.
Nobody talks about Huberdeau or Barkov ever. The Chicklets boys just started talking about fucking Barkov, or just started talking about Barkov recently.
Yeah, I think Biz Nasty called him one of the most underrated players in the league too, didn't he?
One of the last episodes.
Did he really, huh?
He is, man. Listen, I don't watch any Florida Panther hockey unless they play the New York Rangers. I've gotten to watch quite a bit since I've been here. I've probably watched 3 games since I've been here. That kid Barkov might be the best player in the NHL. If he was in a big market, he very well could be the best player in the league. 200-foot scoring, whole nine.
He's a power forward. He's a big body, strong
bro,
forward.
he commands a different kind of presence when he gets on the ice. Tampa Bay loaded their lines when they got on the ice with Barkov. I watched Hedman and McDonough get on defense. Stamkos, Kucherov, and the kid Joseph.
Kucherov is out for the season, man. So it had to
Kucherov.
been Braden Point. It would have been Braden Point.
Was it Cirelli? Stamkos, Cirelli, and Joseph. You know the
they're both those are both centers. I would assume it would have been like.
I'm telling you right now, I watched them get on.
Cirelli and Stamkos are centers.
It doesn't matter. I watched Stamkos, Cirelli, and Joseph get on a line with McDonough and Hedman to go against Barkov on the power play. It was maybe Cirelli and no, Stamkos and Joseph. It was not Cirelli. It was a power play. It was Stamkos and Joseph with Hedman and McDonough just to go against Barkov on the power play. You're putting that firepower on to go against him. That's how good he is. That's how good Tampa Bay knows he is. Barkov might be one of the top 5 players in the league, and nobody speaks of him.
Adam Fox is the greatest player ever to play the game. Just saying. Hot take.
Ranger fan, absolutely. He's a stud.
Adam Fox is an all-star. Fucking Norris Trophy winner soon enough here. Give him 3 years, without a doubt. Fill in that role, points altogether that Tony D left behind, because honestly, we needed someone to fill a 50-point fucking season. And he's doing every bit of that, scoring 3 points a fucking night.
To be honest, we miss Tony D. We really don't need him. We have a lot of offense, man. He's not like a great defensive. We have a ton of offense back there. We really do.
What a change. What a change. Now we don't.
Listen, I miss him. I like him as a player. I'm upset they got rid of him the way they did. I don't agree with it in any sense of the word. But they've kind of showed you that they really didn't need him. Like I was a big advocate of him, but after watching what we have offensively, like we're not struggling offensively on the D end. Like it's the bottom line. Like I know the coaches didn't like him. I don't like the way they got rid of him. I think it was kind of bullshit. I don't love what went on. I'm a Tony D fan. I hope he goes to Seattle or any other team in the league and puts up
the Kraken.
I hope he goes and puts up 75 points and he does it against the Rangers. I hate what they did to him. Really do. Big Tony D fan, but we haven't struggled offensively without him, even in the slightest on defense. I mean, our defense is putting up just as many points as our offense. Keandre Miller puts up points here and there. I mean, everybody is contributing on the D end. Lindgren puts up points. I mean, we have 5 guys that put up points. Like we're not hurting without him. I'm not saying it to be a dick. I love Tony D, but we're just not hurting offensively without him.
Lindgren and Fox were a pair made in heaven. Just a match made in heaven.
Lindgren's going to end up having 25 assists this season.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, come on. Him on the ice with Fox just elevates you, man. I mean,
he's a good player.
He's a good player.
A lot of guys are like, oh, when he went
Team USA boy.
When he went in the Nash trade, we didn't think anything of it. We just thought he was a throw-in piece. Like, we thought he would be a tradable piece by the Rangers. If you trade him, you're an idiot. He's the next Rangers Dan Girardi and better. And
I agree. 1,000%.
He's way better than Dan Girardi, but he brings that leadership.
Fights, gets in your face, puts your body on the line.
I mean, you remember Dan Girardi always had a black eye, a bruise, a cut, always blocking a shot. And
dude, that guy's ankles were just like swollen just constantly.
The same exact way. He's just better. He's just a better hockey player. He really is. Like, he's just a more skilled hockey player. So, for me, if you're the Rangers and you have any idea, unless you're getting a Jack Eichel or somebody significant in return, there's no way you give up Ryan Lindgren.
Well, let's do one more. Let's close it out on just one last thing here in the goaltending situation, because we've been having Kincaid, be the netminder, be the guy between the pipes. You had Georgiev sit it out one time. Chesty probably on the horizon. So, I mean, kind of like last year. I don't know. Do you think they're going to be going into that 3 goaltender situation? Because I think we got to just choose 2 and just kind of run it, know?
Honestly, if I'm the Rangers.
Don't yawn on me. Come on. You got to stay with it, 72 cocktail guy.
Yeah, I've been drinking all day. I've been having a long one. But
Come on.
if I'm the Rangers,
Wow. Sorry.
there's no way
Soderberg in front of the net.
there's
Wow.
no way you go back into a 3-goal situation. You can't do it. Kincaid's been fantastic. If I'm the Rangers, you're picking between Georgiev and Kincaid. I mean, Shesterkin goes nowhere. That's the bottom line. Georgiev has been less than mediocre this season. After the last 2 seasons he's given us, I hate to say it, but I mean, if I'm the Rangers, you got to pick between Kincaid and Georgiev. I mean, Georgiev isn't even a thought for the expansion draft at this point with the way he's played. Like, I don't see Seattle going after a guy with a 900 save percentage and 890 save percentage, right? Like, there's going to be so many other goalies available in the league. Why would you go after that? So, like, you kind of cut yourself out there. Like, you're not going to stay in the lineup because you're going in the expansion draft because you haven't been good enough for the expansion to take you. So,
I'd be wonder because teams know that we're not desperate for goaltenders, and we're kind of basically handcuffed. If we have 3 good goaltenders, I mean, we either send one to Hartford and they just kind of waste away in their career and don't get any more looks, even though Kincaid, honestly, in has earned spots, has earned ice time, and
yo, let me tell
you
you
know,
something. Steve Kincaid, if I'm the Rangers, I'm taking a long, hard look at keeping one of the two between Georgiev and Kincaid.
correct, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you gotta figure this out.
Kincaid is a veteran who's been in a spot where he's had to start before and played multiple games back to back to back. He's providing a different kind of goaltending for the New York Rangers right now while they have a lot of injuries and shitty goaltending problems going on, and he's really stepping the fuck up. I mean, that first game that they played him in, they were down already big. He ended up making huge saves. I think they ended up losing 3-1, whatever it was. He made some humongous saves. He played an incredible fucking hockey game. If I'm the Rangers, I'm taking a long, hard look between him and Georgiev. It's going to be a toss-up. It's going to be like do we believe Georgiev is going to be this good in the future and we push Kincaid out, or is Georgiev really what we thought he was and we let him go to the AHL and we say fuck it and we take Kincaid and we let him play beside Shesterkin?
You
Knowing
getting
that,
some wind over there? You
knowing
getting a little extra action.
how the neighborhood turns on their sprinklers at this time.
Oh, the sprinklers started coming on.
I'm outdoors, man. Sprinklers popped on.
Oh well, if that's the case, let's not hang on here too much longer. But I mean, I agree with you, JG. I think the Rangers got to figure it out. We got to figure out this 3 goalie situation. I think we can't run Kincaid and Georgiev. I agree. I think we need to choose between the two. I think we either need to move one here before the deadline, or I guess it's just one is getting exposed to Seattle and hoping,
I mean, listen, if I'm the Rangers,
they bite, because we have Tyler Wall, we have Adam Huska, we have plenty of other guys.
If I'm the Rangers, I'm putting one of Georgiev or Kincaid on the market.
Yeah. I mean,
again,
we have 3 weeks.
You're protecting Shesterkin in the expansion draft. We know that already. Like, you're not letting him go. The potential is just, the ceiling is too high. You might as well get what you can get, because both of these guys potentially could be gone at the end of next year, at the end of this season. So you might as well send. Listen, if Kincaid ends up being 5-1-1 in 3 weeks, 6-1-1, you could probably get a second or third rounder for him, or a reasonable third to fourth line player. So like,
plenty of teams need a tender for sure.
You know, I mean, listen, he's 3-1-1 right now on a mediocre New York Rangers team, and he's been put in some bad situations as far as goaltending for the Rangers, and he's 3-1-1. So I mean, if I'm the Rangers, I play him out a little bit more. I try to get his, pump his record up a little bit, win some games with him, and maybe I put him on the market, knowing that maybe Georgiev goes in the expansion draft. Maybe you put there for a third or fourth liner or a third or fourth round pick. I mean, you could definitely get something out of him.
Well, we'll have to see what happens, but I think now that the sprinklers are running, I think they're trying to tell you something there, JG. But I think been hell of an episode. Great talking with you. I mean, we covered a freaking ton here on Light in the Lamp. I mean, I think we went through a bit more than we were even planning on when we even started this episode.
A double episode, but we've been between you being away in Chicago, me being away in Florida, haven't been on, so it's been nice to get a little extra in, and I think we definitely buried her tonight. So
Oh, without a doubt.
I think we did a good job, and we'll be back on very soon. I'll be home Friday, and we're gonna have plenty more to talk about with a big Rangers game coming up here Thursday. So.
Oh my God, against Philly. I mean, we gotta bury them on this one. I mean, without a doubt. So, I mean, hopefully we'll have some good news for you fans. I mean, after the Philly game, we got a big slate of games between Philly, Washington, and Boston coming up. It's a pretty tough stretch that we have to face, but we'll see how we come through. We'll see when the coaches come back, and we'll see how Kratz fits in here. But if you can, fans, please like, share, follow, comment. Just share us if you enjoy anything to your friends, family, and just spread some love for the boys. And we're happy you tuned in. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll be talking with you. JG, we're going to tune out, but great episode, my man. Great seeing you.